All right, so someone asked me to do a video request on this Ask HershNoeie, and they said, and I'm trying to read beyond the thing here, so I apologize, but they said video request on why the world's most progressive city, Seattle, has had so much racist incidents against people of color in the last few months. Is this some kind of passive aggressive resentment towards CHOP and the BLM movement? And so, CHOP, if you don't know, is the uh, was a area in Seattle near Capitol Hill where basically protesters had basically took over an area, and it included even a police station. They actually occupied that area for a bit. Let me first say this person sent me a video which I have seen, and there's a lady that is called Road Rage Seattle Karen Gets Caught Lying. It's a lady that basically, when you go to the thumbnail of it, she has a pink or purplish, it's hard to tell, maybe a magenta long sleeve hoodie on, and she's got like black yoga pants, right? So she gets out, and this guy that was following her, because he claims that she flipped him off and called him the N word, and so he followed her as a result. And when he got out of the car, he asked her what was going on, and he called her Karen, and she immediately said, "I have a black husband." And so he said he didn't care. He's like, "Why did you flip me off?" Now this video was used by a bunch of bigots. There is a. Let me first address a couple of different things. One, there is a campaign that is out there for heterosexual black men, against them in terms of who they date and who they marry. There just is. I mean, these are facts. And you have people who will, and I'm not saying that's this person's particular agenda, but you have people all over YouTube who make a lot of money. They may not necessarily believe it, but they make a load of money bashing black men. And these are mostly black women who do that. There are also black men who do it, but there's been a large amount of black women who have started to do this. So they don't represent all black women. And some of the people who are following them are black women, but some of them are also white men. Some of them are other men of color. Some of them are black men. Some of them are white supremacists that follow. They just, I mean, it's facts. Some of the comments are like written right out of some of the stuff that you see on white supremacist sites. And you had people using this lady in this incident. They didn't care about anything else other than the fact that this person accused her of being a racist, and that she immediately got out and said that she has a black husband. They wanted to use that to basically paint all interracial couples with a black man as being something that is not true. Basically saying that, you know, they even date these racist white women and blah 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 blah, or marry these racist white women, and so this is what they settle for, and this is what they deal with, and yet they don't want to deal with a strong black woman. It's just bogus. The reality is that most of those people who say that are bigots, or they're butthurt about the fact that someone's dating someone who is of a different race, and they have some sort of personal offense towards it. That's basically what that is. It's just facts. Others are just trolls, and they get on there just to hype things up. But the people who make those channels, and this is their nonstop propaganda, is because it pays a lot of money. Racism and bigotry pays money. Yeah, that's why the Klan has existed so long. It pays. So that's the first thing. Second thing is, do I think that this woman is a racist? The one that, and I'll put a link that this person included down in the description box below. I don't know. Based on other things that have come out, I don't think so. I don't think so. What I think may have happened was, and the reason why I say this is because the person who made this video has a lot of controversy, and I'll address that in a second. But this lady, I think, and this guy probably had some sort of a road rage or traffic issue. Do I think that she flipped him off? No doubt. No doubt. Maybe. But I think it is a matter of, let me add more to the story than what is reality. I'm 50-50. There's a good chance that what this person is saying is true. There's a good chance that what he's saying is not true. So this person's freaking out, and she says that she's, married to a black man. She also has attended tons of Black Lives Matter rallies herself. And supposedly this person that made this video has done so as well. I'm not saying they know each other, but they both have. I think her freak out moment was because she even said in the video she's afraid that she's going to be labeled as a bigot or a racist, and she's not, in her view. I'm just saying in her view. So she doesn't want her license plate filmed because obviously there can be bad repercussions for something that's not necessarily the case. This gentleman, Carlos, has had a history of attacking women. He is a gay man. Nothing wrong with that. Love whoever you want to love. But there has been a track record of him harassing women and race baiting. Right? He's also listed, he's a comedian and all this. Now, whether or not this stuff is true or not, I don't know. And to be honest with you, I can care less. Right? But this person wanted me to pretty much give a point of view. So I'm just listing all the things that have been listed out there that have been documented. Now, whether or not that's true or false, don't know. Whether or not this lady is a bigot or not, I don't know. But it throws a question mark. I look at a lot of these Karen videos and I'm like, yeah, I can see that. And I watch a lot of them because they're funny. Some of them are just like insane. There are some, like the woman, the Cooper lady that was in New York, the dog park thing. Do I think that she was a racist? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. She fits the Karen description quite well. This lady here in Seattle, I don't know if that's the case. And there's other people who have said when Karens are falsely labeled. Could be in this case, based on his track record and all of that. She didn't say anything throughout the whole part of this that's derogatory. Typically, in these Karen cases that I've seen in almost every single video, they've said something stupid. Now, she's freaking out, obviously, and hyperventilating and all that. I get it. But typically, when you see these videos, especially of a bigot or a racist, even with the cameras on, they're going to still keep saying stuff. Like they don't really care. Or they'll say something. There's nothing that indicates that. So, I don't know. My other thing is that I don't agree that Seattle is the world's most progressive city. It is a very progressive city. Excuse me. It is. It's a very progressive city. And I would say that even though you have a progressive city, it doesn't mean that it's immune from racism. One doesn't equate the other. In fact, there's a lot of people who claim that they're progressive, and they can be some of the most racist people. Right? I know a lot of people who say that they're progressive, but that doesn't mean anything. I mean, there's proof of that. We want to put it on one side. This is why I talk about the whole political thing is just stupid. because people want you to believe that only Republicans are bigots. Are there a lot of bigots on the Republican side? Absolutely there are. But are there a lot of bigots on the Democratic side? Absolutely. Are there a lot of independents that are bigots and libertarians? Absolutely. Of course. It's silly to think that there's not. It's naive or delusional to think that there's not. But also, on the progressive side, you also have a lot of bigots and racist. Do I think that this lady is? Part of me is saying I don't think so. I don't. Now, there may be some people who disagree. There may be some people who will call me everything under the sun. That's fine. I don't care. But I don't see it. So they said, in this video, why is the world's most progressive city, Seattle, had so much racist incidents against people of color in the last few months? Is this some kind of passive-aggressive resentment towards CHOP and the BLM movement? In this particular circumstance, I don't think in this video, I don't think it has anything to do with CHOP or BLM. I don't. I think possibly, I can't remember if this happened before CHOP even happened. I'm not sure. But I don't think so. I absolutely don't think so in this circumstance. I think it's a road rage incident that, and they even said it's road rage. They said it's Seattle Karen, but I think it's a road rage situation that got blown way out of proportion, honestly. But do I think there are people here who have issues with Black Lives Matter and with CHOP? Absolutely there are. But I also think that it's a much more accepting community. I've seen a lot of businesses in Seattle, down here in Tacoma especially, that are very sympathetic towards that. And a lot of people in the community were very sympathetic towards that. So, are there a few folks that are butthurt? Yeah, because they feel like we have an entitlement situation in America, right? People feel that they should be entitled to be offended just because. So because black people are actually hurt by things, other people feel like they're left out because of the name. Right? It's silly. So I don't think it's that. And as far as racist incidents against people of color in the last few months, I'm not aware of a whole lot, but there are. It doesn't surprise me. There are some. I think what you have is not that there's more instances of anything around the country. I think that you just have more people that are recording this at a time when everything is being uploaded on the internet. Keep in mind, it hasn't been that long ago since you and I have been able to personally stream videos or live videos. It hasn't been that long since we've been able to do so. And now, with every new phone, we have friends who got a new phone, and their phone makes it even easier to upload and edit videos on your phone. Really simple. You don't need a bunch of stuff, and it looks really great and professional and all. Like, we're advancing the technology so quick that it's becoming much more easier to upload videos and put them out there, and you're not able to just spread it to the people in your city, but around the planet, just like that. So I think that is why you're seeing more and more incidences. It's not that it's changed in volume. I think, if anything, the number of racist incidents have actually went down. The things you're seeing in terms of police brutality are lower than what they have been. You know what I mean? It's just that now there's more people who have a phone that's a high quality phone that captures high quality video. You don't need no big giant, camcorder that is the size of a huge desktop computer on your shoulder. You don't need that anymore. You just have a simple phone that you can easily turn it landscape or portrait and capture whatever you want to do. So I think that is what the big difference is. So I think that it has started a lot of different things, right? I think people are tired of the stupidity. I think that people are tired of the stupidity. I think that you have people in the white community tired of true Karens and Kens. They're tired of that. You see what I'm saying? I think there's a lot of people that's tired of that. They're tired of the nonsense. They're tired of the discrimination. They're tired of that. A lot of folks are like, just let people live, leave them alone. You know what I mean? I think there's a lot of people who feel that way. There's also a lot of people who want things to stay the same. They're not comfortable with seeing any change. I think there's also black folks too, myself included, who are tired of the stupidity. We have a lot of stupidity in our own community, whether it's online or not, where we have folks that believe in everything, from black folks who believe in conspiracy theories, those who refuse to want to vote because they think it's a setup. You have some that, will talk about they don't mind interracial dating, but then they sit and dog and drag people who are in it, whether it's one side or the other. You see what I'm saying? It's there are some black folks who are tired of that. Not only tired with just some of the stupidity that goes on in America and other communities and how it affects us, there's just some that are tired and exhausted by the stupidity in our own community, or people who are in our somewhat of our circle. And so I think collectively, individual groups, racial groups, are tired of the dysfunction in their own racial group. People are tired of that. That's why you see, if you go on YouTube, you can find a lot of channels that are ran by white YouTubers who talk about Karens all day long. They post videos about Karens because they're tired. One, it makes money, but for two, they're tired of the stupidity. It gets old. It gets old. And you're now having black folks who do the exact same thing. They post videos about other black people that they're tired of the bigotry. There are a few women who are on YouTube who make it it's a daily feast of just degrading black men. There are a lot of people who make videos who counter that because they're tired of it. Right? It doesn't benefit anybody. It's just a waste of time. So I think that now you're seeing more and more people who are tired of it. That's why someone who went into this situation didn't just automatically side with the guy. He's known in the area a little bit. Now, I don't know him. I've never heard of him. But there were people saying that there's a long track record of stuff that you have to kind of weigh. That some of what he's claiming is not true. Now, of course, he's saying that's not true and blah, blah, blah. But I do believe that you have scammers that come in every shape, form, and size all day long. Maybe it was for for clout. You have a lot of people who are chasing clout, and they're looking for the money bag. It's simple. It's not like the folks from my generation where you go out, you bust your butt, you go work at a job that you probably hate, and you're not making a whole lot of money, but you still keep climbing up the ladder. Folks that came after me, a lot of them are wanting the easy way. And the little work that they can do and the most money they can get, that's what they want to do. And a lot of folks make a lot of money on platforms like YouTube. And YouTube allows a tremendous amount of trash that literally is basically cyberbullying. And people do it every single day based on race, or based on who someone's married to, or based on, what religion someone is, or based on someone's clothing, or who's dating and who's marrying. There are people who make money every single day, and YouTube makes money off of that every single day. So, yeah, with this particular situation, the lady with the black yoga pants and the purple shirt, I don't necessarily think that she's a racist. I don't think that she's necessarily a Karen. Do I think that she's a little strange and freaked out and weirded out? Yeah, absolutely. The guy that's filming, he could be telling the truth. May not be. He's also an actor. Could be telling the truth, could not be. I would say 99% of the videos that are showing a Karen are authentic and true, and that I think that the title fits. But there is that 1% that I'm like, I don't know. And I think that this is one of those where I'm like, I don't know. But anyhow, I don't necessarily think that Seattle is the most progressive city by far. And I don't think that there's any sort of correlation between this video or some of the other things based on CHOP or BLM. I think it's just that people are now being more recorded than ever before. This is a very passive-aggressive city. People do a lot of passive-aggressive stuff. This whole incident probably started based on passive aggressiveness. He probably whipped in front of her or whatever, or she felt like he did something that she didn't like, and she probably gave him the middle finger, passive aggressive. So then it led to this whole domino effect. So yeah, this is a city that's known for that. But I don't necessarily buy into quickly. And I try to weigh things. I try to really be fair and bowl down the middle and be truthful and honest, regardless of what flack I may get. I try to be truthful. I honestly don't know that this is one of those situations where she's a bigot or a racist or any of that. I don't necessarily. There are people who are saying that because you see a lot of incidences of it, and I think that's why she's freaking out. Now, some people say, "Well, he's making excuses for her." No, I don't necessarily need to do that, but it just doesn't. It seems weird. The video to me seems weird. That's all I'm gonna say. Anyhow, I had someone that wanted me to do, and maybe it's the same person. This is on our Discord, by the way. They asked this question. Make sure you join our Discord too. It'll be down in the description box. They wanted my opinions about Chop, and my opinions about Chop is I really don't care. I didn't care when it existed. I didn't care after it was gone. And the reason why I don't care is because it did not, in my opinion, had anything to do, and I think a lot of the business owners will agree, a lot of the neighbors would agree, and a lot of other folks would agree, it didn't really have much of an impact on, justice. It really didn't. It created a lot more issues and problems and distracted from a lot of things, in my opinion, than what was the case. Now, I do agree that one of the great things out of a lot of this was a community center. There's like an old fire station that the city is that they didn't use, that they're going to donate and turn it over to be created into a community center. And I think that's great. But some of the things that have come out of this, such as, walking and marching to the mayor's house. I'm not a big fan of the mayor of Seattle. There's no question about that. But marching to her doorstep, I think, is wrong. The chief of police, Chief Best, she's a black female chief. Folks were marching to her house. I don't think that that's right. I don't. You know what I mean? Like, I can still sit here and say, yeah, there's a lot of things that police do wrong, and there's individual cops that do wrong, and there's a systematic issue. But on the same token, I think that also police should be protected. I think that innocent black men should be protected, and innocent people in general should be protected. And I think that also cops that do what they're supposed to do should be protected. I don't believe in violence. I think it's the worst, primitive, stupidest thing outside of politics. It's one of the worst, stupidest things that a person can do. Violence. I don't understand it. I've never understood it. I never got it. I don't get that. I don't get the aggression, bigotry, hatred, bullying. I've never, even back when I could barely brush my teeth, I never understood it. When I was in elementary school, second grade, I never understood it. I didn't understand it then, and I still don't. It was just the way I was raised. Some people were raised to value and respect people, regardless. And to just not stop at one part of someone and say, yep, I'm going to just sit here and judge everything. To me, that's just cheap. You know what I mean? Like, you really and truly are very cheap. If all you can see is what a person looks like or who they're dating, and I'm going to judge, or married to, I'm going to judge you heavy because I'm butthurt, or I've had bad experiences, or something didn't happen my way, or I feel some type of way, or I feel like, you're betraying folk, or your race of people, or all this other nonsense, then that's very cheap. What we should be celebrating is the fact that people love one another, that people want to help one another, that people want to be kind to one another. That's what you should celebrate. When you have evil crap, that's when we should band together. The people who love, care, and share should band together and stop that type of bad stuff from happening, or at least stand up to it, or at least, bring it to the forefront and make changes happen. Right? But the hatred and the stupidity, you're never going to get respect that way. You're never going to get people really fully on board with that. So anyhow, I can go on and on and on and on and on. Hope that kind of answers your question. I had to redo this video because I went off on a big long tangent on the first one that I did. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, join the Discord. Until next time, I will see you. Take care.